It's finally here, a video about the emergency contraceptive pill. Hi, I'm Nadine Thornhill, sexuality educator. It's a little bit ridiculous that in the 3-ish years I've been running this channel, I have not done a video about emergency contraception before now. Better late than never, hopefully. What is the emergency contraceptive pill? As the name suggests, it is a pill. It is hormonal contraception that is taken after unprotected sex to reduce the risk of unintended pregnancy. People typically use ECP if they've been having penis-vagina sex and the condom broke, or if there's been an issue with their regular hormonal birth control, like if they're on the pill and they've missed some in the event of a sexual assault, or if they just forgot their regular contraception. There are two main types of ECP. There is levonorgestrel, and there's unipristol acetate. We'll talk first about levonorgestrel because that is the type of ECP that most people are familiar with. There are a few different brands, but the one that most people know is Plan B. So I'm just going to refer to it as Plan B from here on in because it's easier to say. Plan B is most effective when it's taken within 72 hours of unprotected sex, which is 3 days. Within that 3-day period, it's between 75 and 89% effective. The sooner you take it, the more effective it is. Now, the sort of ideal window is those 3 days, but it can be taken up to 5 days after unprotected sex. Plan B is the ECP that is available at most pharmacies, and it is available without a prescription. You ideally should just be able to walk up to the pharmacist, tell them, I need some Plan B, get your Plan B, pay for it, walk out. Occasionally, pharmacists can be a little bit judgy about it, which is unfortunate. Something you can do with Plan B is you can buy it ahead of time and then you have it on hand if you should ever need it. The other type of emergency contraceptive pill is unipristol acetate, and the most common brand name for that is Ella, so I am just going to call it Ella from here on out. Ella has a longer effectiveness window than Plan B. It's 85% effective at reducing the risk of unintended pregnancy if taken within 5 days, and that effectiveness window remains consistent throughout the 5 days. You do need a prescription for it, so if you don't have easy access to a doctor or a sexual health clinic, it could be a challenge getting it. Similarly to Plan B, something you may be able to do if you have a regular doctor or access to a clinic is get a prescription and have it filled again so you have the pills on hand should you need them. There are no reports of any serious side effects with ECP. However, there can be some, mild unpleasant side effects like nausea. Some people do vomit, and if you vomit within 2 hours of taking the ECP, it's not going to work, so you're going to need to take it again. Some people have dizziness, mild headache, and it's possible that the next period you have after taking ECP will just be like a different kind of period. A lot of people want to know how often they can use emergency contraceptive pills. From a health perspective, they are quite safe. They are often not recommended for use as regular birth control simply because they are not as effective as other forms of birth control like the regular pill, the patch, the ring, IUDs, things like that. Speaking of IUDs, the copper IUD can also be used for emergency contraception. If you do have an IUD inserted within 5 days of unprotected sex, it is 99.9% effective at preventing pregnancy. It is by far the most effective form of emergency contraception. The other bonus is that if you are not looking to get pregnant anytime in the foreseeable future, you can leave the IUD in for up to 10 years and it's got you covered. Now, you cannot buy an IUD in advance, but something you can do is you can get the prescription in advance, and then if you need to have one inserted, you don't have to go through the whole process of, you know, having another doctor's visit and getting the prescription and getting it inserted. You can just say, I already have a requisition for an IUD. Put it in because I don't want to get pregnant. On my Insta stories, I asked folks to leave me questions that they might have about the ECP, and here are some of the questions people had. How much does it cost in Canada? Is it covered by anything? And what's the process of asking for it actually like? We talked a little bit about how, you know, the process should be really smooth when you ask for it, but it really is going to depend on just the person that you're dealing with. In Canada, Plan B costs between like $30 and $45. Ella is more expensive. It costs like maybe between $50 and $90. In Ontario, Plan B is covered by OHIP Plus. So if you are 24 years of age or under, it is covered by provincial health insurance. Ella is not covered by OHIP. However, there's an alternative medication called Fibrostol, which is essentially the same chemical makeup, and that sometimes is covered by OHIP depending on the circumstances. I also had quite a few questions about ECP and weight restriction. There's a common belief that Plan B specifically is not recommended for folks who have a higher body mass index. I have thoughts about body mass index, but that is not this video. In reality, that issue is a little bit more ambiguous. In 2011, there was a paper published that reported on the results of a study that had been done. And in this study, what they had found is that participants who took the ECP and had a BMI of, I believe, 25 or higher, became pregnant 3 times more than people who had BMIs in the so-called normal range. There's still some debate around Plan B and weight, but there are many people in the medical and pharmaceutical community who believe that while weight may have some bearing on the effectiveness of Plan B, there's no conclusive proof. If Plan B is the emergency contraception that's available to you, there is no harm in trying it even if you are heavier or have a higher BMI. Alternatively, if you do have access to Ella or the IUD, there are no weight restrictions associated with those forms of emergency contraception. Finally, the emergency contraception pill is not the abortion pill. The abortion pill is a pill called RU486. While RU486 will terminate a pregnancy in its very early stages, the emergency contraception pill does not terminate a pregnancy. If you are already pregnant, the emergency contraception pill is not going to do anything for you, and it is not going to terminate that pregnancy. If you would like me to do a video about RU486 or the abortion pill, leave me a comment down below and let me know. I would be happy to do that. If you have further thoughts about the ECP, you know, pros, cons, maybe experiences you've had with them, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. If you liked this video, you can thumbs up it. If you thought this was helpful or it would be helpful for someone else, please share it. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you subscribe to the channel so you can hit the subscribe button, also the bell so you get notified when I post new videos. That's all for now. I hope you have a great day and I will see you soon. Bye.